This is the Brother SE 1900. It is both a sewing machine and an embroidery machine. It is very special in that it can do both. It has two distinct modes, either sewing or embroidery. Each mode requires a specific setup. To operate it as a sewing machine, the process is the same as the previous sewing machine videos. You plug the pedal in and the power cord. If you open the top, you'll find a display for all the available stitches. This machine uses a touch screen and arrows for selecting and adjusting stitches. Just like the regular sewing machine, it has groups of stitches organized in folders. You can find the presser feet in the front compartment. It can be a little tricky to open. The best way is to place your fingers on the surface and pull back. Each foot has its place, so take care not to lose any pieces. It has all the buttons and parts as regular sewing machines such as speed control, backstitch button, and up-down needle control. Because it is a much nicer machine, it has a couple additional features such as a cut thread button. As you expect, it cuts the thread for you, but my favorite is the automatic threader. To use it, thread the spool as usual, following the numbers and diagrams if you have trouble. When you get to the needle, loop the thread through the hook labeled 6, then run it through this gap here and pull it through the slot at 7. Bring it around the thread cutter labeled 8 and push down on the lever labeled 9. Pull the loop through the eye of the needle and voila, it's ready to start sewing. Now for the featured presentation, the embroidery machine. Setting it up for embroidery involves many steps. To start, switch the machine off and unplug the pedal. Next, open the front compartment. First, we need to remove the presser foot attachment, and you will find that the top tray is removable. Underneath, you will find a screwdriver and the embroidery attachment called the eyelet punch. After double-checking that the machine is off, take the screwdriver and loosen this screw on the left. The presser foot attachment should slide off. Place it in the front compartment so it doesn't get lost. Take out the embroidery attachment. It's a little difficult to put it in place, so watch carefully. Start by placing it next to the leg with the keyhole upside down. Then twist it so the keyhole lines up with the needle. There is a slot where the screw will fit. You might need to loosen it a bit more if it doesn't slide into place. While holding it in place with one hand, start tightening the screw with the other. The attachment should straighten out. When tightening it all the way, make sure not to strip the screw, but do make sure that it is very secure. Place the screwdriver back in the front compartment and close it. Fully remove the front compartment by sliding it to the left. Retrieve the embroidery arm from the black cabinet in the back. Before you slide it into place, you need to open this little panel on the right. This allows the machine to connect to the electronics in the embroidery arm. To remove the embroidery arm, you need to reach under and grip the release latch located here. Now you can turn on the machine. It will detect that the embroidery arm is attached and switch into embroidery mode. After you touch the screen, a warning will pop up. Keep your hands clear and press OK. This is the machine calibrating the embroidery arm to make sure everything is working. Now that the machine is ready, it is time to prepare your fabric for embroidery. This is the embroidery hoop, or just the hoop. When embroidering anything, the key to success is setting up your hoop correctly. It can be a tedious task, but your effort shows in the results. To start, this white sheet on the back is called support material, and you guessed it, provides support to the fabric you are embroidering. To loosen or tighten the hoop, use this screw at the bottom. When putting your fabric on the hoop, you'll want it to be tight, but you won't want to stretch the fabric at all. You do this by making sure the fabric lays flat and naturally, while tightening the support material. It should sound a little like a drum when you're done. Once prepared, slide the hoop under the needle. Don't try to scoop the hoop at an angle, otherwise it won't fit. It should slide right under without any trouble. However, if you need a little extra space, you can raise the presser foot lever to get a little more. There are two knobs on the embroidery arm. These will fit in the corresponding slots on the hoop. Line it up, lift, and snap into place. Make sure it is fully secured. Next, we will need to select our embroidery design. If you have a custom one, plug in your flash drive and select it. If not, the machine has a lot of included designs you can pick from. You can look at them in this book. Before you begin, make sure you have all the colors you plan to use. It is important to note the difference between embroidery floss and thread. Embroidery floss looks nice, but is not as strong as thread. Select your design and press the word Set. This window will allow you to make some adjustments to the design, such as size, placement in the hoop, and rotation. When done, select End Edit. You can further adjust placement in the arrow keys in the next window. When done, select Embroidery. The machine is now ready to start. It will show a list of the colors it will use, and roughly how long the embroidery should take. However, this does not include the time for switching the thread colors out. The number indicates a very specific color floss that can be purchased. However, the machine does not care if that is the color you use. So, just pick the colors that look the closest, but have them all ready to go before you start. Load the color indicated. As for the bobbin, generally white for lighter designs and black for darker ones should work well. Before you start sewing, it is important to adjust the tension. Press the button with the scissors on it. You want the spool thread to show on top without the bobbin thread being pulled to the surface. I have found that a tension of about 2.6 works well for most fabrics. Please remember 2.6. However, not all fabrics will be the same, and you may need to do some tests. To begin, lower the presser foot. The red button will turn green. Press the green button. Make sure to keep your hands clear and allow the machine to do its thing. Even though it is automated, do not leave the machine. You will need to supervise for the full embroidery. Sometimes the tension isn't quite right, and the thread will likely break at least once. Thankfully, the machine will detect when a thread is broken and stop automatically. When this happens, pull the thread out at the spool and rethread it. Before continuing, select the button that looks like a needle. This will bring you to a screen where you can select a specific stitch to start on. The broken thread usually gets detected in about 6 stitches, so you will want to press -1 6 times, then OK. The machine will stop when it is done with a color and cut the thread for you. Just put in the next color and continue. Lift the presser foot and remove your piece. Congratulations! You know how to use the embroidery machine.